Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. I have a riveting story that has just come to fruition out of East Tennessee pertaining to a nurse who has been a very, very dirty bird. And I'm going to bring you that said information. But before I do, I'd like to bring updates of current and breaking news that's transpiring right now in the U.S. As most of you know, Derek Chauvin is in court right now awaiting his fate and time to be given to him in the death and murder of George Floyd. And I'm going to go ahead in and check that said update before I go into my story. I have several updates, so bear with me. I'm going to be talking about R. Kelly in this segment, an update, a new order that's been put forth into motion pertaining to the soldiers at Fort Hood, and naturally the collapse of a condo building in Surfside, Florida, near Miami. I will be talking about that as well. And right now I'm still checking for the update pertaining to Derek Chauvin to see if a rendering has been given on a sentence for Chauvin in the murder of George Floyd. So it has been reached, a sentence. It says here, breaking news, Court TV, Derek Chauvin sentenced to 22.5 years in the murder of George Floyd. That is the news. Hello, Miss Didi. How are you doing? So I just got this right now. If you want to log on over to Court TV, which has a channel here on YouTube. This is a live sentencing hearing, Minnesota versus Derek Chauvin. So the judge has given a sentence. It says here in the caption, Derek Chauvin sentenced to 22.5 years. Amen. So I'm going to log on out of that because that's all I wanted to bring forth pertaining to that. I will bring my other updates. Thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $BigAngie129, Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. So that's my first update pertaining to Derek Chauvin. He's been sentenced to 22.5 years. I will bring more commentary pertaining to that later, but I have more things I want to discuss. So I have a lot of updates to bring to you. The next update is pertaining to the condo building that has finally, from my understanding, collapsed in Florida. And this is by CNN. Death toll in Florida building collapse rises to 4 with 159 people now unaccounted for. This was uploaded today at June 25th at 3:15 p.m. It is now 4:05 in East Tennessee. The death toll from Thursday's partial collapse of a South Florida residential building has risen to 4, and the number of unaccounted increased by the dozens, officials said Friday, as a painstaking search continued for survivors in the rubble. 3 bodies were found overnight from Thursday into Friday in the wreckage of Champlain Tower South in Surfside, Miami-Dade, in Surfside, excuse me. My screen's jumping. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Assistant Fire Chief Ray Jadala said, adding to one found early Thursday. Family members identified Stacy Fong as a victim killed in the collapse. Fang is the mother of Jonah Handler, a boy who was pulled alive from the rubble, the family said in a statement. And I mentioned that to you all in my early morning live, that I was concerned about the parents of the young boy pulled from the rubble. Well, now it has been verified that the mother of that said boy pulled from that building yesterday, his mother, Stacy Fong, has perished, and she was pulled from that rubble unsuccessfully. But her son is currently alive. There are no words to describe the tragic loss of our beloved Stacy, the Fang and Handler family statement said. The members of the Fang and Handler family would like to express our deepest appreciation for the outpouring of sympathy, compassion, and support we have received. The many heartfelt words of encouragement and love have served as a much-needed source of strength during this devastating time. The number of people unaccounted for is 159, Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava told reporters Friday, up from the figure of 99 that officials gave Thursday afternoon. Those 159 people have been identified as possibly being on the site, the mayor said at a news conference Friday afternoon in Surfside. So those are people that maybe live there, but we don't know whether they were there at the time. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis at the press conference emphasized the importance of finding out the cause of the collapse. We need a definitive explanation for how this could have happened, DeSantis said. We don't want to get it wrong, obviously, but at the same time, I do think it's important that it's timely because you have a lot of families here. You have families that lost loved ones. You have other folks who were able to get out safely, but then lost their homes. 3 of the 4 victims have been identified, according to Dr. Emma Liu, director of the Miami-Dade County Medical Examiner Department. 1 victim died at a hospital. No other information was provided. 2 victims were being treated at Jackson Health System Hospital, a spokesperson said. About 55 of the 136 units at the building a few miles north of Miami Beach collapsed at around 1:30 a.m. Thursday, leaving huge piles of rubble on the ground and materials dangling from what remained of the structure. So know that the building is now all the way down. 35 people were rescued from standing portions of the building by first responders, Jadala said Thursday. Levine Cava said, as of Friday afternoon, 120 people had been accounted for. So 120 people have been accounted for from that structure, and that building housed over 130 units. Structural engineers also have been shoring up other places, such as areas near a parking garage underneath the rubble, to allow crews to tunnel underneath with light machinery. Rescuers on Friday will use heavy machinery to pull some of the superficial metal from above, which will help identify voids where survivors could be, Jadala said in the morning. As we move through the building, we constantly monitor, making sure that there's no movement. Every piece of rubble that we move, we have to make efforts to stabilize the building inch by inch, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue District Chief Jason Richard told CNN. Officials don't know how many people were in the building. Florida State Fire Marshal Jimmy Patronas said the search involved that delicate balance of saving lives while risking lives, with the accumulation of water used to extinguish fires during the dangerous wait to the unstable remains of the buildings. Crews were taking down license plate numbers of cars in the parking garage in an attempt to determine who was in the building, Patronas said. Amen for that. Surfside Town Manager Andy Hyde said officials do not know how many people were in the building at the time of the collapse. We know that it was about 80% occupied, but that doesn't mean that there was 80% occupied with people, he told CNN Friday. We know that some families around here travel quite a bit. Hyde said the town's building official had been on the roof of the tower where work was being done and that it was fine. The building's residents reflected South Florida's international and cultural mix, with affluent families from Argentina, Paraguay, and Colombia, and a tight-knit Jewish community. Kevin Spiegel said his wife Judy is among the missing. He said he was out of town at the time of the collapse. She's just the most amazing person in the world, and we could do anything to have her back. We would do anything to have her back, he told CNN. His 2 sons and Michael and Josh at his side. President Joe Biden on Friday approved an emergency declaration for the state, making federal aid available to Florida, including equipment and other resources, and authorizing FEMA to coordinate disaster relief efforts. Additionally, a team of engineers from the National Institute of Standards and Technology is being sent to Surfside to determine whether a large investigation that could impact building codes everywhere is needed. The federal agency studies building structural failures and recommends changes to building codes, fire response, and emergency communications, according to spokeswoman Jennifer Huego. The goal of such an investigation, Huego said, would be to determine the technical cause of the collapse and the possible need for changes to building codes, standards, and practices. That's the gist of it. I'm not going to go into much because it's very winded, and this is not my headline story for today. Thank you all for joining me. Thank the mods on board. So the building is down in Florida at the moment, the condo building in Surfside, Florida. 159 people now not accounted for. The death rises to 4 decedent people. 3 bodies were found overnight from Thursday into Friday. Stacy Fong is one of the victims. She is the mother of the boy who was pulled out of the rubble yesterday. Most of you have probably seen the picture of that young man, a video of him being pulled out, where his mother has been discovered as not alive. And most of you know there are foreign nationals that live in the building, visit the building. This is a place for people to rent for vacations, also homeowners. Some possibly were in the building, some were possibly out of town doing God knows what. So we're waiting to hear. I'm also glad to hear about the license plates of the cars, because in my mind, I was thinking perhaps the garage was sitting underneath the rubble, because most high rises have garages built underneath the building. So when they said it pancaked, I thought, well, how would you be able to get license plate numbers from cars unless they're, flattened? And that's where they're getting the information from. Because if it's pancake, that means they're going through the rubble to get the said information pertaining to the license plates. Oh, Lord have mercy. Prayers for the victims' families. Prayers for those who are now without a home. That was their home. Prayers for those who are vacationing, that are alive and now in need of resources. Prayers for those who have yet to discover their remains in that condo in Surfside, Florida. Amen. I will bring you updates pertaining to that. The next update is pertaining to Fort Hood. And then I will get on with the story. Thanks for your patience. Fort Hood updates off-limits establishments list for soldiers. 5 local Killeen area clubs are now considered off-limits to Fort Hood soldiers, according to I believe that says 3 core Facebook posts Wednesday. The following off-post businesses are blacklisted. Club Crush 201 West Veterans Memorial Boulevard in Harker Heights. MJ's Bar and Grill, 1310 South Fort Hood Street in Killeen. Club Legends, 308 South 2nd Street in Killeen. Hangover Bar and Grill, 104 West Elm Street in Killeen. And Club UNI, 511 West Rontier Avenue in Killeen. The 5 clubs have experienced incidents of violence in the recent past. On March 15, 2020, Michael Anthony Hackney, Jr., 32, was fatally shot at a Club Crush in Harker Heights. Most recently, 3 people were injured in a shooting at Club Crush in late March. Michael DeQuan Sanders, 28, died in a shooting at Club Legends in Killeen on May 2nd. In addition, Fort Hood said all places selling drug paraphernalia, designer drugs, or any type of synthetic drug are also restricted to Fort Hood soldiers. Fort Hood service members are also restricted from unlicensed tattoo parlors, according to Fort Hood's post. A previous Fort Hood off-limits list included the following Killeen businesses: Executive Private Club, 836 South Fort Hood Street, and Club Hypnotic, 1000 West Stan Shaluter Loop. The 2 businesses were not included in Fort Hood's latest restricted list. If you need verification for this information, kdhnews.com is the source. So now the officials at Fort Hood is banning certain establishments in Killeen, the Killeen area, for their soldiers due to violence, murder, selling of drugs. Obviously, someone has given this information to officials that these said establishments, some perhaps, are selling synthetic and narcotics, drugs, whatsoever, paraphernalia. They don't want their soldiers involved, patronizing. That's the said word. You don't want to be in the Army, don't go to Killeen, Fort Hood, because they now have strict rules about their soldiers' whereabouts, patronage, yada, yada. That's my second update. Okay. Thanks for joining the Queen on this wonderful afternoon. Okay. R. Kelly. Woo! Never thought I had this many updates in one live. Okay, everybody. R&B singer R. Kelly has been jailed in New York City in anticipation of his sex trafficking trial later this summer. A federal prison website on Wednesday listed Kelly as an inmate at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. He arrived there Tuesday afternoon from Chicago, where he was being held on similar charges. Kelly, 54, is accused of leading an enterprise made up of his managers, bodyguards, and other employees who help him recruit women and girls for sex. Federal prosecutors say the group selected victims at concerts and other venues and arranged for them to travel to see Kelly. The Grammy Award-winning singer denies ever abusing anyone. His trial, Robert Sylvester Kelly, is set for August 9th, 2021. That is the said information pertaining to Robert Kelly. So Robert Sylvester Kelly is now in Brooklyn, New York, holding for his upcoming trial in August. Amen. That is the said information pertaining to Robert. So I brought you an update pertaining to the building in Florida that has collapsed. Prayers for those who survived, the families of the victims. Surfside, finding out what happened. I don't know if the roof has anything to do with what happened, but once again, the roof was being worked on. A professor at a local university has done studies on the building. He found last year that it had been sinking 2 millimeters a year since the early 1990s, for those of you who are not keeping up with the story. So the building has been sinking. Most of you who are familiar with Florida know that Florida is sinkhole heaven, such as Tennessee. Maybe not as prevalent, but we also have sinkholes here. So perhaps this building was built on wetlands, as stated in this man's commentary. He's a professor. Go to my early video. I have his name and credentials listed in that said early morning video. He predicted this would happen. A year later, the building is no longer standing. So we are hoping that Florida, like other United States, will do a better job of policing their buildings, condos, regular buildings, 2 flat buildings, 3 flat buildings, whatever the number is. Every 40 years is not enough for a skyscraper. 12 stories, 16 stories. There are other buildings in Florida that sit higher than 12 stories. They have many condo buildings in Florida, Miami area that are skyboxes, and there's no way waiting 40 years to check it to see if it's okay. Most people don't live that long, so 40 years is too long to check a building. So let's pray that all buildings in America are checked more recent than 40 years. Amen. Prayers for Surfside, Florida, the decedents, the people who have not been pulled out of the rubble. Prayers for Fort Hood. The soldiers now have a new guideline of places where they cannot patronize while they are in the military in Killeen, Texas. And I just brought you information pertaining to Robert Sylvester Kelly. He is now in a holding facility in New York, Brooklyn, until his trial starts in August. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129, Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. I'm going to bring you another update to something I saw. I didn't really want to talk about it. So I'm going to briefly skim over it. You can do your Googling search afterwards. Because this story, I'm trying to see how I'm going to tie these in. I'm going to go on and join in because I'm now 18 minutes in. My story is about an East Tennessee woman who's accused of sending nasty soil, blood, pad to a woman of a man she's either dating or married. I don't really know what the hell's going on with this lady. And I'm also trying to give verification if I actually know the guy that she might be married to or dating. I don't know what's really going on. But anyway, I'll search that later because I just don't really have the time to do all this searching for stuff. But she's a Caucasian female. She's out on bond. This crime took place months ago. She was deemed a nurse, but she is no longer working for Park West Medical Center. So I don't know what she's doing. She cannot work in the medical field, probably not never. And it is baffling what she has been accused of. She has sent blood from a patient at the hospital that was supposed to be disposed of. So that means she took the blood illegally, planted it on a sanitary napkin, and mailed it to this woman, has been sending nasty letters to this woman and her child. She also has vandalized her car at the high school during a school event for the children. She's also sent fecal matter to the woman in the mail Obviously, the woman called the police for all these incidents, and they have all this evidence against her. This is a very baffling story. And I also wanted to tie in this same story of a young Black child who was poisoned at a party in Canada alongside her friend, because both of these stories came up in the queue around the same time. And I'm going to give you just a brief synopsis of this story as well. Feel free to Google the information about the second case. Let's see if it'll even pull up. This is by 6WBRC. Toddler dies after eating poisoned cereal at sleepover. I'm tying in two stories. One of a child poisoned and one of the lady sending increments to a woman by the mail. Canadian authorities said a toddler who died in March had eaten poisoned cereal, and the man believed to have been responsible is now in custody. Bernice Nantanda Wamala died just 1 week after her third birthday, after her mother rushed her to the hospital following a sleepover at a friend's place. Both Wamala and her friend had severe reactions after eating breakfast cereal. Bernice began vomiting and was having trouble breathing. Bernice's mother, Maureen Marimbe, was searching for answers when she spoke with CTV News at the time of the poisoning, and police have provided some. This past weekend, Francis Ngugi, 45 years of age, of Toronto, was arrested with 2 counts of administering a noxious substance to endanger life, as well as unlawfully cause bodily harm, 2 counts in criminal negligence causing death. Toronto Police Constable Jennifer Sidhu said. Police said both of the girls who ate the cereal were familiar with Najugi, and this is crazy, but they won't confirm what the connection was, nor will they identify the substance that allegedly was put into the cereal. The man obtained the controlled substance from his place of employment, and that was part of the investigation, where they later determined that same controlled substance was found in the cereal that the 2 children consumed, Sidhu said. Upon learning of the arrest, Marimbe told CTV News she's praying for justice. So 2 children went to a sleepover where a man, I'm assuming this is a man, poisoned the kids. The little girl died, little African-American child or foreign child. She's dead. The friend also got sick. They will not say who the father man is. I don't even know if he's a father of this little girl or an uncle or what. But anyway, 2 kids at this man's house. One's dead. They won't release the relationship between the children and this man. Very odd and strange. I don't understand why they won't tell us. But if you need verification for that storyline, that is WBRC 6 News. I'm bringing you this story only because it came up in my news break along with this crazy story of this witch here in Tennessee. Okay, I'm going to hurry up and get the party started pertaining to my main story. Thank you all for joining me and your patience. Prayers for all the storylines I brought to you. God bless all of you. Hello, Miss Moore. 10 News is the source. Records. Nurse charged for mailing bloody sanitary napkin dog poop to husband's ex. Della Marie Gibson, that's Gibson, Latham, Lathum, faces state harassment and stalking charges and federal charges for sending biohazards through the mail. Sorry. Oh, the Lord Jesus help me. An Oak Ridge woman faces state and federal charges after investigators said she took blood from a patient at Park West Hospital, put it on a sanitary pad, and mailed it to her husband's ex-wife. Okay, so it is her husband. To her husband's ex-wife, court documents said. Della Marie Gibson Latham admitted to investigators that she used blood from a patient at Park West and would normally dispose of the blood draw, but instead set it aside. Arrest warrants from early April reveal. She told federal investigators who interviewed her at the hospital that she did it because she wanted the kids to know the truth about her husband's ex. Latham said her husband's ex-wife was lazy, didn't work, and lived off the system, according to federal court documents. On another occasion, court documents said Latham mailed her husband's ex a FedEx envelope containing dog poop, and a letter with derogatory comments. She faces 2 federal counts of sending biohazardous material through the mail. Latham was released from federal custody on the condition she not contact her husband's ex-wife nor seek employment in the medical field, documents show. In a statement, Park West Hospital spokesperson Tanya Stout Brown said Latham is not currently employed at the hospital. In addition to the federal charges, Latham faces 5 harassment charges, 2 stalking charges, and 1 vandalism charge in Loudoun County, where her husband's former wife lives. In late March, Latham caused $1,000 of damage by scratching the side of a Chevrolet Malibu belonging to her husband's ex-wife while the woman was attending a school banquet with her children at Lenore City High School, arrest warrant said. That same day, records show Latham put a rock on the woman's doorstep. The rock had a red letter A written on it, which is most known to symbolize adultery, the arrest warrant said. In mid-April, Latham mailed a card disguised as an invitation to her husband's ex-wife's juvenile daughter that included derogatory comments about the family, records show. Latham is due back in court in Loudoun County on July 28th, a clerk said. If you need verification for this story, Channel 10 News, WBIR.com, a local affiliate here in the Knoxville, Tennessee area. Thank you. Take that gum out. I have so many questions for this heifer here. Ooh, Satan, you busy today. Lord have mercy. This has been a busy week in America for shenanigans and mayhem. Okay, let's get this party crunk. Della. You have a show enough black woman's old timey name, Della Mae. Shut your mouth. Della, you have been a naughty little girl. You know damn well what you did was wrong. It doesn't matter what's going on with this lady. It doesn't matter what she's doing. Let it go. Let it go. Because you are now with the husband. That's what we are to believe. So why are you stalking, harassing this lady that you're with her husband now? And the fact that you put the letter A on the rock, which the police are deeming this as a word of symbolism for adultery. Well, one would look at you and may think that, hell, you probably was sleeping with the woman's husband when she had him first. Yeah, Queen, gonna keep it real now. So what are you talking about? A. What does that A mean, Della? I ain't never heard of a white Della before. I never in my life. Shut your mouth. I think only one. And her name was Delta, so that ain't the same. Delta Burke. God help me. Why were you stalking this lady? She may be a bad parent. She may be on welfare. And most of us already know, in most states, you don't stay on welfare like people did 20, 30 years ago. It's not like that anymore. And that's for people who don't understand the welfare system. So let the Queen school you. You don't stay on welfare. You don't get a big, large check per child. Probably $140-something for one kid. And after so much time goes by, a couple months, they're going to ask you to go to school, take a class, go back to work, show that you're working, bring in paperwork that you're working. State law. State law. And so long as she is in good standing with the state, she's going to receive food stamps for her kids. She's going to receive medical for her kids. And it won't matter if she worked or didn't work. That's just the state law. That's just the state law. Probably the same in most states. Whether you work or not and have children, the state will give you aid such as medical, WIC, and medical for your children. Thank you, Crystal. It's looking ratty 1 week today and this polish looks horrible, but thank you, baby. There are many people in America that receive assistance from the government, whether they are elderly, handicapped, SSI, they receive a small portion of food stamps. They have medical through the state. That's none of your damn business. It's none of your damn business. Because children have to eat. And children don't ask to come here. And children don't choose their parents. So let the Queen start there. Let's start with the obvious. Children, I once was a child. You once were a child. You didn't choose to be here. You didn't ask to come here. You didn't choose your parents. You didn't choose how your parents lived. You didn't choose how your parents raised you. You didn't choose your parents' habits. Ting! But you still have to eat, bathe, wear clothes, shoes, go to school, get medical attention. The rest is common sense. What you have done, Miss Della, is atrocious. To be stalking this lady, whether she was a good person, bad person, whatever, that's between her and God, who she is. Was not for you to be stalking her, bothering her, sending nasty things to her children. And see, this is where I have the problem with you. Besides you wanting to keep messing with this woman, but you already got her husband now. Shut up, Queen. You sent nasty things to her child. So you are no better than the person you're accusing of being a bad mother. That she's lazy, she's that, whatever the hell's going on with that lady. Why are you messing with her child? You see, that lets me know you're a dirty bird. And 9 times out of 10, you were that same dirty bird that probably was sleeping around with this man. And I'm not trying to say, hey, we all ain't flawed, but I'm keeping it real. Your attitude shows me you're sick. Because it's one thing to stalk the lady. But what are you doing saying nasty things to her child? You think what you're doing is going to sit well with her children? You think her children are going to revere you in a different light now that they know you've been sending bloody pads and dog poop in the mail to their mother? So they're going to like you more now? And perhaps they may not like their mother. Perhaps they have a really bad mother. Perhaps they don't have a good relationship with their mother. But what you are doing is exacerbating a situation where you don't have the right to intervene. Now, perhaps you're taking care of the children, partially taking care of the children. Are you also mad because what? Some of the money out your household is going towards those children? Because I do not know how many children we're speaking of. So maybe that's what your problem is, Della. You're angry because Pawpaw's money is going toward those kids, and mama is what? COVID living? Because I've been hearing a lot of that. She ain't went back to work. She ain't working. She living good. She ghetto fabulous living, and you feel some type of way because your money is him money, and him money is your money, and you is mad because the whole pot is going over to she house for their children. You see, let Queen get gritty with you. Yeah, I'm going to go there today because it's Friday and I'm feeling good. You should have thought about that before you got with him. Are you listening, Della? Because I know you out on bond, and I hope you watch YouTube, and I hope you're not who I think you are. I hope you're not married to somebody who I think you're married to. We're going to see. I'm going to do some digging when I get off this hot box. Della. Is that what you're mad about? Is the money is going over there to them children? But you see, you chose him. Are you listening, Della? You chose that man. He chose you. So to be mad after the fact, I don't know how long you've been married, it's a waste of time because you chose him. So to get mad now about this woman's behavior is ridiculous and childish because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to bet that you met him either married to her or while they were separated or after he divorced her. We will find that all out eventually. So nonetheless, these children were in the picture before you, Della. And whatever he told you about she, that was on you to continue messing around, dating, talking to him. Here are the questions for Miss Della. Thank you all for joining me. When did Della get fired from her job as a nurse? Is she still deemed a nurse by the state of Tennessee or wherever she got her credentials? How long has she been married to this man? Do Della and this man have children together? Or does she have children of her own? What was really going on in this relationship for this to jump off for her to be stalking his ex-wife? What has he said to her about the ex-wife? Did he exacerbate the situation? Did he go along with this? Did he know that she was stalking, sending the lady nasty things? Did she tell him she was sending dog poop, a dirty pad, blood that she took and put on a pad? Because the first thing I thought was, I know she didn't take a woman's pad out the hospital and carry it around in her purse just so she could send it to this chick. But we found out she took disposed blood and put on a sanitary napkin. Stay woke. Is he complicit in this stalking? Did this man set this up, tell her to do it, aid her to do it, knows that she's been doing this? What's his role? Are they even together, this woman and this husband? Because I'd like to know now with everything coming out, is she still living in the house? Do any other kids live in this household? Between them, do they have children of their own together? Do they have children together? Did she bring children in the fold? Are there other children by another woman that's in the house? I want to know, are there children in this house? Because there should not be any children in the house or her possession. And I'm going to go ahead and say him as well. Because I can't believe at some point he did not know she was stalking this woman and doing things. Because 9 times out of 10, the baby's mother has called him and told, hey, your wife's been sending me boo-boo in the mail, a dirty pad in the mail. Oh, you know she's called and texted him and told him. Okay. Let's see. I got so many notes. Now that she's out on bond, will the father allow the children around this crazy bat? That's what I'd like to know. How old are the children? How much time is she going to get by Tennessee courts? The only reason why it's a serious crime because she sent this through the mail. So anytime you deal with U.S. mail, it doesn't matter if it's bomb parts, a bomb, this, blood increments, shrapnel, whatever, it's a major crime only because it's U.S. mail. But had it just been her calling the woman, dropping stuff off at her house, people don't get a lot of time for stalking and harassment. I think most of you know this. Usually things end up very terrible from people being stalked and harassed. Someone ends up severely injured and or dead. And by then it's too late. The person ends up going to court for murder or attempted murder. See, the courts need to have stiffer laws on stalking and harassment. Amen. Okay. If indeed she has children of her own, either with this husband or not, let's say she has outside children. If she goes to jail, who will raise the children? Will he raise the children? Will she have to get outside people to help with her children? How's this going to unfold? As I state, what will be the rendering in court? Because I'm very curious to what a judge is going to do about this case and the charges. And will charges be dropped? Will she give a plea? Render a plea? She is not a good mother. To me, Della, what she's doing. I'm assuming she's a mother. We will find that out too if Della has children. What do you all think about her doing this? Sending these items, blood, fecal matter to this woman because she deemed this woman not a good mother because she's on the system. But to me, that's not a reason to stalk somebody because they're receiving welfare for children. Most women, men in America are receiving assistance for children, just like in other foreign countries. People receive government assistance. That is no reason to stalk and harass somebody. I think what the problem is, your husband is paying her child support, which he's supposed to do, whether he's with you or not. Ting, ting, ting. Wake up, Della. You're slow. He is the father of those kids, and he's supposed to take care of them. And if the law has made an arrangement for what he is supposed to pay, or he's paying what he wants between he and she, whatever agreement they have, that has nothing to do with you. Because once again, Della, ding, 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 wake up. You signed up for this ride when you got with him. So if you saw any type of oddities, craziness, ghetto ratchetness between he and the baby mother, the children, lifestyles, you should have bailed. But we already know what happens. You got some of the ding ding, and that was more important probably. And so you rode the ride, and now you're unhappy. So you now want to stalk this lady. But now you're facing charges for stalking this lady. Yeah, okay. Mail fraud. These are the crimes she's charged with. And most of you know, as I state, if it wasn't fraud with the mail, she'd probably get a slap on the wrist. Because rarely does stalking, harassment gets any jail time, prison time. It has to be elaborate stalking, harassment, verification that you've been stalked, things like this, things coming in the mail, video surveillance, CCTV surveillance, eyewitnesses to the stalking, abuse, vandalism, for her to possibly get prison time. Okay. As I state, stricter laws need to go into effect pertaining to stalking and harassing citizens. Real prison time. And as I state, does the father have knowledge of his wife stalking or harassing his ex-wife? And who has full custody of the children? Are the children in the mother's custody, which I'm assuming they must be, because this is her reasoning that she gave to the detectives for why she's been harassing this lady, is because she's on aid. I don't know, not else. Somebody asked that earlier. My sister-in-law asked that about the item smelling in the mail. I told her, who knows? She probably wrapped the stuff very tight. When you're diabolical, you're going to have forethought of how to disguise the smell of blood and or fecal matter, which we know fecal matter is going to smell a whole lot worse than blood. So I don't know what she wrapped those items in, the dog poo. But the point is, it made it through the mail. It made it through the mail some kind of way. Either it made it to the post office or it made it all the way to her address. I do not know. I do not know if those packages were intercepted. I got a feeling that's probably not. They made it to her house. And the cold thing is she used a timestamp from her job from the women's center. I don't think I brought you all that information in this said video. Let's see. Let me see if they're going to say something about this. Hold on a minute. 1 second. Thank you all for joining me. Let's see. It's circling now. Hold on. Stories to uncover or video to discover. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I know what's taking so long. Hey, how's everybody doing? Thanks for joining me. I'm buffering. Hold on. It's taking a while. This is what I hate about these videos. They take forever. Oh, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to pull up another one. Hold on. I don't know why it's buffering. Everything's buffering these videos. Oh, okay, Nancy. You all behave now. I don't know why these stories don't want to For some reason, they don't want to play. I don't know. This is really crazy. It's a very crazy story. I'm just trying to figure out who she is because I got a weird feeling she's married to somebody that I know of. That's why I want to verify who she is. I pulled her name up, but it didn't pull up on Facebook. It just pulled up all these stories about her. She may have taken her Facebook page down because this incident took place these incidents took place beginning April, if I'm not mistaken. So this has been going on. We just didn't know about it. Hadn't made the news. Whoops. Uh-oh. Got my light switched off. Hold on. This is not showing me what I wanted to see. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 minute. I'm still here. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, I can't find any video. This won't play. I want to read some things pertaining to that package she sent. The name that's on the package. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Gibson also admitted to police that she mailed the ex-wife a letter in April that included a derogatory message. Gibson reportedly stamped the envelope with the hospital's new patient stamp in red ink and labeled the return address as Women's Health Specialist. At the time of her arrest in May, Gibson herself was unemployed and no longer worked at the Park West Medical Center, WATE reported. Delamarie, I'm going to call her Delamarie, excuse me. Delamarie Gibson Latham, 37, admitted to police in April that she mailed packages with human feces and a letter containing a bloody sanitary pad. The blood was from a patient at the Park West Medical Center in Knoxville, where Gibson was a registered nurse, she told police in a voluntary interview. The packages and letter were sent through the mail to Gibson's husband's ex-wife in Loudoun County, who Gibson had allegedly been stalking and harassing for months. She told police she wanted the kids to know that the ex-wife lived off the system and was lazy, the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office report said. The victim's name was not released. This is by Newsweek.com if you all need verification for this said commentary. And as I state, she was unemployed at the time. She no longer worked for Park West Medical Center. She admitted that she had mailed these items to the ex-wife in April. And she used a logo from the hospital, new patient stamp in red ink, and labeled the return address as Women's Health Specialist. So she used where she worked as the stamp, which is stupid. So now the woman knew, oh, it's coming from old crazy ass because she's a nurse. Hello at Park West. Hello, da-da-da-da-da-da. Dummy. Another letter was reportedly sent to the ex-wife's daughter in April. Gibson, this is crazy. Gibson admitted to disguising the letter to look like an invitation to a party. The letter called the child poor white trash, faking a fancy life, and said, your mom is broke and lazy and won't pay her bills, WATE reported. Gibson was brought up on vandalism charges after the ex-wife's work car was damaged in the parking lot of Lenore City High School during a school banquet held for the students. She admitted to causing more than $1,000 in damage to the car, which was noticed by students attending the banquet, according to a police report. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service filed a criminal complaint against Gibson in the United States District Court of the Eastern District of Tennessee. The complaint accused her of mailing biohazard materials. Note, biological material that poses a threat to humans or the environment is prohibited to be sent through the mail without proper permission and labeling, according to the USPS. USPIS would not confirm or deny and facts of the complaint to preserve the integrity and fairness of the ongoing investigation, a spokesperson told Newsweek. Gibson faces charges of stalking, vandalism, and harassment. She was released on bond following her May arrest. A court hearing for the charges is set for July 28th. 8. Thank you all so much for joining me. Newsweek is the source for this part 2 of my commentary. And as I state, Honey Hush, I doubt that he's a doctor. As I said, I think I know, possibly, I could be wrong, who this lady might be. I just got a feeling once I found out the location of the ex-wife and somebody that I know of moved to that area, I'm kind of wondering if the person I know is either married to this woman or he was married to the ex, let's say. I will find somebody with the T that will give it to the queen, because I got a funny feeling the husband is either married to this chick here or he was married to the other chick. Just got a weird feeling. A weird feeling about it. Okay, gonna drop the link so you can join the queen if you can. If not, I will check out of here. 51 minutes in. Thank you for letting me bring you all those said updates pertaining to breaking news in America. Prayers for Surfside, Florida, because right now they need our prayers. And thank the Lord that we got the computer up and running officially. Yes. Queen had to send it to the fix-it shop. She was having some difficulties, so they gave her some new little parts to get her started. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. You get out and get you some fresh air. It's beautiful here in the high 10. It's very warm. It's very gorgeous here in Tennessee today. I plan on getting out later to do the queen. Yes, I am living my best life. Amen. Nothing is going to keep the queen down. Can't hardly read these numbers. Read T. Pray for me, child. Pray for me. Hit the link if you have information you'd like to relay, personal experiences, your opinion pertaining to Miss Della Marie. Excuse me, I was calling her Della May. Forgive me. Della Marie is her name. Please be respectful in your commentary. Do not use profanity in the chat or on the panel to give your opinion pertaining to Della Marie and this mess that she's gotten herself into willingly. Naturally, it's all on her. She chose this for herself. I don't feel sorry for her because I know there's times when you date people, you get immersed in their personal situations because you're dating somebody or married to this person and you're listening to them complain and moan about what they didn't do, blah, blah, blah. But it's best that you stay out of the situation. No, I do not have any information on Mr. Carr. Sorry, I do not. But my thing is, best you don't get involved. Don't go say anything to the ex-wife, ex-girlfriend. Don't say anything to their children. Don't say anything to their parents. If your husband, your man's having problems with the ex-mama, baby mama, wife, stay out of it. Don't say anything. See, that's what's wrong with a lot of us. We're hotheads. We want to be in stuff. Put our 2 cents in stuff. I'm not getting ready to go to nobody, baby mama, and say nothing to her about her child rearing skills, how much child support he has to pay, don't pay. I don't get involved in that stuff because I'm not going to waste my precious time ogling with you about something that went on before I came in the picture. You see, everybody lives differently. And I'm one of those type of people. I don't want the headache. I don't want to argue with you about nothing. I don't want to talk about nothing. I'm not going to argue with you about what happened with you, what you allegedly doing now, not doing now. That's not my place. That's his place. And I'll tell him too, hey, I like you, I care about you, but I don't want to hear all this every day. You crying and moaning about this chick, this woman, ex-wife, whoever she is, handle your business. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. I have Janet coming to the stream.
Hey, Angie, I just wanted to say you're totally right. She's just not taking responsibility for hooking up with this guy in the first place. And she's just such a coward to do it through the mail instead of telling this person face to face what she thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she deserves a nickname. So instead of the Unabomber, she's the Una, and you fill in the blank there.
You know what?
Pooper?
Okay. Should she face federal time?
I think so, yeah. I mean, that's just uncalled for, unnecessary, rude, and just inhumane.
Okay.
And I mean, she could have sent something from somebody who had an incurable disease that was infectious, and she probably did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think she should get a lot of time for that.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, that's all I've got to say.
Okay. Thank you, Janet.
Okay, bye-bye.
That was Janet, everybody. If you want to give commentary pertaining to this woman, Miss Della Marie, what she has done by stalking and harassing this lady, she used her profession as a nurse. She's supposed to be caring. She took an oath when she went to nursing school to aid the public, help the public. She violated that oath. Let's speak on that. She violated her oath to do due diligence by helping people in need. She stole blood from the hospital that was supposed to be disposed of, put it onto a sanitary napkin, carried it out of the hospital, sent it into the mail along with nasty letters and fecal matter from a dog to her current husband's ex-wife. I don't know what was going on with these people, but this has gone too far. Della Marie, you are vile and you're disgusting. You are a disrespectful human being. You are a vile wife. You are a vile mother, if indeed you have children. You are a vile stepmother. You are a vile creature. And you don't have any business being a nurse. You don't have any business being a wife. You don't have any business being a girlfriend, side piece, new piece, old piece. Nothing. No stepmama, no mama. I don't want you as a neighbor. I wouldn't want you as a friend. I wouldn't want you as my nurse. I wouldn't want you, period. Because you are vile and you are disgusting as hell. And I got a funky feeling that husband of yours has some knowledge of your little dirty dealings. And his ass need to go down with you if he played a part any type of way. And no child should be in your custody or your peripheral or under your supervision. Because if you would do this to a woman who is the mother of the children that you are also taking care of and seeing at some point, that says a lot of who you are and your character. And the fact that you sent nasty letters to his daughter means you don't have the right to be around children. Nancy from Oklahoma. Hello, baby.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. Thanks for asking. God bless you.
Yeah. This woman is a peach, isn't she? She is something to be reckoned with.
Air Force says take her out to the dumpster. Well, hey.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, she's nasty.
Yeah, you got that right. You got that right. And to harass some little kids like that, that's really sad. That's very sad. That's very disheartening.
What is the child gonna do? Whatever you have to say about somebody's mother or father, you don't ever involve children. This is why you're gonna go say something to a child either by the mouth or by a letter. Why? For what?
Exactly.
She didn't choose her mama. She didn't choose her daddy.
She didn't choose her circumstances. She has nothing to do with those circumstances. She has nothing to do with that. Why are you going to send a nasty little hateful letter to that child? Now, one thing between adults, I'm not saying what she did is right. What she did was completely wrong, and I hope she gets hung up for everything she did going through the U.S. Postal Service. That was vile, completely vile. But sending something to a child, that is completely wrong. Wrong. And as far as speaking on my own experience, like you asked, yes, I have had personal experience dealing with my ex and stuff like this, but not to that level. And it had, I'm sorry, I'm outside.
No,
Traffic's going
fine. I'm going to turn my mic. I'm going to step away, but I can still hear you. So just tell me, set it up for how, how you met, how long you dated, and how everything unfolded, and then I'll click back on. Okay.
Oh, okay. With my
I'm
ex.
right, but I'm right here.
Okay.
Okay.
We had known each other since I was 16.
Okay.
Dated all through high school, or the latter part of my high school. Got married. Were married on paper for 11 years. A long time to get him to sign the papers. Had one child with him. Very turbulent marriage. He ended up getting married. She had one child. And so he was in a very successful job. I was a single parent at the time, so he had to pay me child support. And she did not like the amount of money that he had to pay me child support. And so it was a very hot topic. And there was quite a bit of battle that went on. And there was arguments that ensued, problems that ensued. He kind of stepped back and kind of let the battle go on between she and I finally just said, listen, it is none of your business. This is between he and I. If you don't like it, step back. This is in the court papers. If you don't like it, you talk to him about it. If he has a problem with it, he can come to me. He and I can go back to court. He makes more money now. It will just go up. So if you don't like it, hush up, because it will just dig into your pockets more, because it will go up. She shut up. Boom, dropped the mic. And that was all there was with that. But yeah, that went on for...
How long ago was that, Nancy?
How long ago was that? Well, my daughter's 27 now.
Okay.
But that went on for 5 years.
So how old was the child?
Let's see. 10?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That went on for 5 years after the papers were signed.
Okay.
And yeah, that was a hot topic. It was a fight every time it was time to get the child support. It was a fight. And finally I said, listen, you want me to take him back to court? He makes way more money when the papers were signed. It will just go up. And I kept my composure. And I said, that's fine. We can do that. You want me to do that? And he'll pay for the court. He'll pay for the proceedings because he makes way more money. And I'm on disability now. Honcho. Yeah. So you want it? Here it is, served up on a platter. Boom. She shut up. So that's my story. But I think this had to do with, I think that was a little bit of that sprinkled in there. I think this, does this woman have some, did she have a breakdown? She have some issues? Did she have some little bit of sprinkling going on with a little bit of everything mixed in there? I mean,
all that's not going to probably come out till they go to court and everything.
Yeah, Lord have mercy. There's some.
So we got.
Was this somebody that she was intertwined with before the divorce?
Oh, I'm sure. I won't doubt that she was probably sleeping with this man while he was married.
Oh my word. And she being a nurse, see, my daughter's going to school to be a nurse. I bet my daughter would just be sick to her stomach. This is just vile for anybody that's in the nursing profession.
Yes. Well, we've heard stories of people who work in the medical profession doing all type of frivolous things. So this
yes.
Anything as far as disposing of liquids, fluids, semen, vaginal fluids, blood by these professionals.
Yeah, you know, oh my word, that's just disheartening. And to send that biohazard material and to touch it, no less than to send it somebody in the mail. My word. That's just really vile. But these poor children. How many children does she have again?
It didn't say.
The mother?
It doesn't say.
Oh, it doesn't say. And there's nothing wrong getting help. There is not a thing wrong. She should not be judged for that. The mother. I mean, good grief. But holy moly.
Yeah, it's a bad situation.
I mean, yes, through, you know, that was just my take on the child support aspect of it. But, you know, I had trouble, you know, through the years with the ex, but nothing to that level. Nothing to that level. But Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Now, I can speak now, we have a very good relationship.
Okay.
We're more like friends and stuff. But oh my goodness, that's very, very bad.
Hey, thank you all for joining me. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
My thing is, I think he complained about whatever he had to pay the mother for child support. I've got a feeling it's probably a combination of everything. How everybody met, how everybody got together, who was zooming who, while possibly married and or separated, however, issue of the monies. And I think this lady just flipped and stepped out.
I know I'm sorry.
She stepped out of her bounds.
Oh, I know my ex-husband was complaining about what he had to pay. And until I brought up, hey, he makes more money now. You want me to take y'all back to court? Then it all stopped.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to you.
Yeah. I was like, no, we're not playing this game no more. 5 years is enough. I'm done.
Well,
I'm done.
I feel like this. I don't believe in holding conversations with other parties.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because it doesn't stop. See, that's what people don't understand about talking to other people about things that don't concern them. I'm not getting ready to talk to you about what my husband, ex-husband, whatever is paying me for my children.
Right.
It concern you, so I don't have any reason to hold a conversation with you. And see, that's what people need to understand, their role, their place, and a lot of people don't get that. Stay in your lane. You don't have no reason to talk to a man's wife, ex-wife, whatever, girlfriend about no child, nothing.
That's right.
And I kept job.
I kept pointing that. I kept saying, I'm not speaking to you about this. I'm not speaking to you about this.
She would have got nothing from me. She couldn't call me. She couldn't say, I want to talk to you about this. Baby, it doesn't concern you. It's none of your damn business. You unhappy with the amount, it's affecting your livelihood, your household, your business, your money's in your pocketbook. Then leave her.
And I kept saying that, and he kept trying to divert it back to her. And that's finally when I'd had enough, and I said, listen, you both want to go back to court? You both want to deal with this?
Yeah.
Then I'm putting you both back in the hot seat.
Well, let me tell you something. My brother and I, we had a conversation here recently about this, and he had made a comment saying that he knew someone who was married and that woman's pay got docked because of all the children he had and the child support he owed. I said, well, as far as I know, in this state, Tennessee, a woman is not liable to pay for her husband's past children. There is no way I'm going to sit here and believe you went out here and made 10 kids, 6 kids, and the judge is going to tell me because I'm married to you that I have to pay for those kids. I didn't make those kids. And I'm not going to have nobody dock my pay for your damn kids because you made those kids before you met me. So you are responsible for your children.
Yeah, exactly.
So why, and my brother said, oh, I know a lady that's married to a guy I know, and they started taking money out of her because it's one, they're married, their money's joined together, blah, blah, blah. I said, I can't see no judge making a woman pay for somebody else's kid.
No.
I can't see that.
No.
He must, I don't know what he went and told the courts. He had to been running his mouth saying something. Oh yeah, we put all our money together. We have a joint account, blah, blah, blah. But you're still basically acting like you don't have a job. You're basically saying what? Only one person work, you're one entity, you and your new wife or whatever. And now
it would be tied to his social. Would it not?
But I don't try to argue with my brother about stuff. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling him personally.
Yeah.
Big Ange, I'm not paying for nothing. Hey, let's give you the perfect example of a queen no longer living that let the judge know she wasn't paying for her husband's children. Whitney Houston, bye Felicia. Hey, Whitney dead and gone, but she let Bobby and the judge know. He got them before he got with me.
Yeah.
Right. It don't matter if I got $1 million and $2 in the bank. That's my $1 million and $2.
$2. That's right.
I'm not. But I'm not getting ready to go out here and pay for these women, because we already know once you living like that, wealthy, just imagine one person marries a wealthy person. Let's keep this real. One person marries a very wealthy person, and that person who don't have a lot of money or no money has a lot of children. And now the judge is going to base the income of the wealthy person, who is not the parent biologically, to pay the outside parent money. So you worth $20 million, and because you married somebody who ain't worth for $60,000, the judge gonna say, well, your wife husband make $20 million, so we're gonna base pay off the $20 million to give all these baby mamas. Now, mind you, they not my kids, whether I'm a man or a woman with the $20 million. But I'm married to somebody on the low end of the totem pole. I don't give a damn. And I tell the judge, this is mine. I made this, whether I'm with this person or not. Love them or not. But those are not my kids. I didn't make those kids.
Helping them out. Divorce.
Helping them out is okay. But that's the whole point. That will be the start of a problem as well. Because once a person knows you have a higher income, here comes all the extra.
Mm-hmm.
I need this. I need that. He needs a bed that folds out that does this. He needs a talking light. He needs a, you see where I'm going. No. And that's the first thing an outsider will say. Well, your wife or husband make all that money. You need to be giving me more child support. It doesn't matter. That's not their child. That's your and that person's child. So it doesn't matter that your baby daddy is now living in a 6,000 square foot house worth $1.2 billion. That's his wife's 1.2. Her money got that. Not your baby daddy or baby mama.
Yeah.
And people get that confused.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the end, if you're going to have that attitude, you're basically saying that the new person in the relationship is now responsible for taking care of your child financially. And that's not their job.
Yep, that's true.
Even if they come visit, they want to buy presents, gifts, take them on trips. Okay, cool. But they're not solely responsible to take care of your child that you made with somebody else. Because in the end, if they weren't with Susie or Dick with the $20 million, they would be paying the best way the hell they could to you with the money they make.
True. That's true.
Thank you. Hit the link.
Yeah, somebody else, you can come on up.
1 hour and 14 minutes in. Hit the link, you guys.
It is so good to see you. I'm so glad you're doing good.
Thank you. Oh, Queen is feeling wonderful.
I have missed your laughter.
I know. I prayed about everything and just.
Yeah, it's all good.
I've had some few issues, but yeah, Queen is good. I'm Gucci. I'm feeling good. Tonight's the Queen's night. I'm going to get out, get a breath of fresh air, and just live, honey. I am ready.
Good.
I am ready. I know. I'm thinking about my brother. He was talking about me coming back up north, and I thought, I don't want to. I don't want to live back up north.
Girl, it's popping up there.
It's pop. Yeah, it popping with some dead folks.
That's what I said. That's what I meant by popping.
You hear all these stories of people leaving up north, East Coast to come to the South somewhere in their life, whether they're a child or adult, and they end up dead. Gun violence, horrible death. I'm not getting ready to leave this cushy life to go somewhere where I got to be bundled up most of the year, cold air, messing with my good Arthur, for a little debit card.
Fasciitis.
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah, so and you know the cold weather will get all up under my good feet and ankles and toes and elbows. I'd be like, ugh. Every time y'all see me, why she got that blanket on? It's July. Because my bones is jacked up.
Girl, it is hot here now.
Baby, thank you, Sonia. It's, baby, outside. It's on and popping. Look, when I say Satan and all his little YouTube friends out there, bye, please.
They're blowing the heat thrower right now. Oh. Let me tell you.
I walked out there and I was like,
you ain't kidding. We had 2 days that was worth being outside here.
I'm talking to the air conditioner. I had it on high. I said, hell, is you blowing? What is you doing up in this car?
The air conditioner's going, and she give me a break. And she give me a break.
Yeah, that car was saying, help if you don't turn it off. Turn it off. Get out. Get the fresh air. Thank you all for joining me. The subject is of an East Tennessee woman who sent dog boo-boo and blood on a sanitary napkin to her husband's ex-wife. I don't have all the details of how many children are involved, how many children are in the possession of the ex-wife, but I do know this lady is facing charges by the U.S. Postal Service, and as she should. She is no longer a nurse. She no longer has a job with Park West Medical Center. This is a case out of the Oak Ridge, Loudoun County area. If you're familiar with East Tennessee, you know where these places are. They are outside of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Shouldn't they take her license away for good?
That's what Crystal was saying. Crystal, hit the link. Crystal's in the medical profession. Let her hit the link.
And isn't anything sending anything like that through the USP or United States Postal Service a federal?
Let me tell you. Yeah, that's where she messed up.
Yeah, it's a federal crime.
Harassing, she'd get off regardless. Sanitary napkins, whatever the hell it was, don't matter. She'd get off if it was she just threw it at the door, put it in the mailbox.
Right.
Shit. Or even though the mailbox is still postal property.
Tampering with postal. Yeah.
If she had put it at her door on her car, no big deal. But once she put it in the mail, you cannot mail biohazardous materials. You're also stalking a person and sending vile things. That's also a charge, I'm sure. She probably will get some time. May not even be a lot, but it'd be more than just a regular stalking charge of her bothering her and sending her letters.
But won't that be on her record? That's a federal crime.
You know how to be on her record, Nancy? You know how to be on her record.
Yeah.
She can't even apply for a job.
Yeah.
The judge rendered that no filing of employment through any medical capacity. Amen.
Ooh. Yeah.
But I want to know his part. I want to know what he has said to her. I want to know what they talked about because I got a feeling he amped her up.
Yes. Yes.
Because there's no way you're walking around with that much hatred and you're not saying anything to your man about what you did.
Yep. What was said behind closed doors. Exactly. In my experience.
I see that bitch something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I got a feeling she's a little gangster white girl. I said that.
She could be. She could be because, what was said in my experience.
A white woman calling another white woman and child white trash makes me believe what I was already thinking. The husband is black. I'm going to put money on it. I'm telling you, I believe this girl is married to somebody I personally know. I got that feeling. That's why I'm trying to hit her Facebook page.
That's just sickening that she was a nurse.
Crystal, hit the link. It's sad.
It's
But see,
sickening.
this is what you have to think about. Just like when I was talking to you all about Yellow Boy and all those excuses he was making about why he couldn't talk to me because he thought I didn't want to be with a man with children. Well, he was right. I don't want to be with a man with small children. Grown children, but not small ones, because I'm 50. I've already lived the life of the child rearing stage. I don't want small children. I don't want teenagers. I don't want any of that. I love my freedom. I love to roam. I love to get up and go wherever I want to go. I don't have to bathe anybody, get anybody ready, get shoes on.
It's a lot of work.
Anything, right? So if I was to go into that role, yes, I'm responsible for children in my house. If I set up camp, whether we are dating or we're married, that means I can't just walk out the door and leave a 5 and 6 year old to himself or herself. How would that look? Oh, well, you're the stepmother. You don't get the kids ready for school. You're not feeding them. You understand what I'm saying?
You have to want to be in that position.
Right. So, but my thing with him was, I didn't even get a chance to even get to know him just to see where it could go because he didn't even give me the opportunity. But then, as someone had said to me, I was Miss Crystal, that ain't what you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. It's a lot of work
because that ain't you. Because you're free spirit, you're single. You're near 50, whatever. You're not responsible for anybody. But now you're talking about going back in time to now rear somebody. Because what you always have to tell yourself is, if you set up camp with somebody, whatever lifestyle they have, that is now your lifestyle.
Exactly, and it's a big adjustment if you haven't.
Children. You're talking about his children are little. We're talking about can't tie your shoes little.
No.
Wayne over here doing this, and somebody talking about, can you tie my shoe? Can you get my hair off? Can you do this? Oh yeah, we outside with a 50 Hennessy, and they don't have no neighbors talking about that woman outside every day drinking out the bottle. She don't even put it in a cup. Shut your mouth.
Kids are right. Crazy.
How you doing, Miss Petey?
Fine, you guys. I'm so glad to see y'all.
Thank you, baby. How you doing?
Yes, you do.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, okay. I'm wondering if, well, of course, if it may have to have a lot to do with money, and she may have just been jealous of that ex-wife and the relationship they have with the kids. That woman was crazy doing all that mess.
Yeah, she was.
But that's what I was going to say. We really don't know what happened or is happening with all the participants. We don't know who's paying who's paying what the dynamics was with the ex-wife, how he become a divorcee, how did he get with this heifer here, how long he been with this heifer here, how many kids there are, the ages of the kids, the relationship of the father and the kids, the relationship with their mother and the kids, who has sole custody of the kids. See, it goes on and on.
Yeah.
So you can't even give a comment, really, because you don't know. All I know is what she did was wrong. That's not the way a grown-up behaves. That's young people stuff. That baddie, I'm going to fight you, send you a letter, call this.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Oh, for that. Hey, Nate, how you doing? Thank you, baby.
I think more federal charges should be put on her. You sent bio waste.
Yeah.
Also, I'm like,
yeah, that's foul.
Jesus.
But look, beside what you said is biohazardous. You a nurse. You took an oath.
Yes, you did, and you
took
broke
an oath
it.
to due diligence. Well, why? Hey, Joel, how you doing?
Broke it on every level.
What's so wrong for that?
Every level. Oh my gosh. Ooh, just a side note, Queen. I had sent a comment. Have you had any updates on Chadwick Carr?
I have none. For those of you who follow my channel, I don't have any updates pertaining to Chadwick. I have not gone over to Facebook to look at anything because I've been, just doing the Queen as of the past week. I don't have any updates pertaining to Chadwick, but when I get any updates, I will bring you a notification or put it up on the community board.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll let Crystal speak. Hey, Crystal.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Chat
Crystal.
room.
What is you doing, Bunny Rabbit? Because I know you're real busy right now.
Oh, yeah. I am speechless.
Oh, you can't be speechless, honey. This is the YT. You
The
can't.
Bubba
That is.
The YT.
They need to go. They need to go. They need to go back and look at her track record on how she's treated patients. If she's doing that to her,
Amen. Amen. D Holla, you're not connected, baby. You got to connect your devices. But that's what I'm saying. Who didn't I just say she don't need to be nobody mama? She don't need to be nobody's mama or nobody's nothing. Grandmama, mama, nothing.
She needs to be somebody's cellmate.
Well, she gonna be.
Amen.
Look, if the judge do it right, she gonna be somebody's cellmate.
Amen, Dee Dee.
Hallelujah. Ugh.
oh, sorry, it's rain. It's pouring down rain here.
Is it? Yeah, my brother was asking me, was it raining here? I told him, no, honey, it's hot and it's like DMX, it's hot and like hell.
It is pouring down rain. But what I was gonna say is they need to check her track record. You know, if she's doing that to her ex-husband, what has she done to the patients? I mean, and you take an ethical oath. You know, you do. You got to take that to heart, that oath. And for her to do this, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. And
but then she tampered with bio waste. That was blood that was supposed to be disposed. Why are you taking that blood and then transferring it to a sanitary napkin, a clean napkin, I'm sure. And then you had to conceal that and take it out of the hospital. You also put it in a return address from the women's area of the hospital. What the hell is wrong with you? So you told on yourself, you know she knew where you worked, Dodo Bird.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think she cared.
Well, we know she don't care because she went too far. You done went from stalking her, sending her this stuff, dog poop, bloody pad. Then you said something to her child. Then you went to the high school and hit the car where the kids noticed you keyed her car or whatever you did. She's on one.
Just acting up.
Della Marie is ratchet. That's a ghetto white girl. Yeah, I'm saying that.
Yeah, she's more than ghetto.
She's off the scales.
Filthy and vile.
D Holla, where you calling from? Hello? Hello?
Earth to D Holla.
We holla at you later.
That's right. Bye-bye, D Holla.
Holla, 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 holla.
Honey hush. Let me say this to everybody in the chat. I do not have all the information. I only read to you what was brought forth by the news. I do not know how long they've been married. I do not know how many children he has by the ex-wife. I don't know if he has children with the current wife. I don't know how long he's been married to the current wife. All I know is she's an Oak Ridge resident, I believe. The wife is in Loudoun County, which is Lenoir City, which is right outside of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Oak Ridge, Tennessee is right outside of Knoxville, Tennessee. It is called the Secret City. For those of you who do not know of this place, it is secret because it is the place where the atomic bomb was built. For those of you who are not in the know, so this is America's city that has kept the secrets of our national government. For those of you who are not familiar, when this town was built, 1941-42, you had to have a clearance come in and out in order to work at the plant, the National Security Plant, Y12. You have to have a security clearance. People come from all over the world to work at Y12 in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Engineers, scientists. The National Lab is in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. For those of you who did not know that, this is where the scientists brought forth evidence in the Casey Anthony case of the smell test in the trunk. Queen State.
Wow.
Yes. Bringing you a little tea from East Tennessee. Amen. Hey. Okay, Crystal, what else?
That's it. This just, I'm just hoping that they banned her. They don't just suspend her license, but they take it away for life permanently.
Suspend. She passed the suspended stage.
Yeah, I hope it's for life though, because sometimes they, they'll suspend it and or whatever, and it's temporary. It's not permanent.
Her behavior is vile. There's no way she could ever get a license back after that. You took something from the hospital. First, that's theft, because that was supposed to be biohazard thrown away, and you took it out of the hospital, planted it onto a sanitary napkin, mailed it with the stamp coming from the hospital. So you also stole their logo and put it on U.S. mail. You then caught a charge for putting it in U.S. mail by mailing biohazard. You also stopped the lady. You don't deserve, baby, really to just, I'm sorry, only God can say you have air in you. Other than that, use a wrap.
Yeah.
Can I ask Crystal a question? Now, Crystal, since you're in the medical field, if she was to move to another state, even though, let's say, they banned her or took her license completely, could she apply for another license in another state?
No.
Or would it still show up?
Yeah, it'll show on the registry when they pull it up. It'll show that she has restrictions or whatever happened. Yeah. It'll show that she violated her oath, basically. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wanting to know. All right, that's good. That's good.
But let me tell you what she'll do. She'll fudge some stuff and she'll go work and do private duty work. Ting.
Probably, yeah. That's even scarier.
She'll go to the big Northwest, because that's what people do when they do heinous stuff like that. If they're on the East Coast, they go Midwest to West. If they're West Coast, they go east or to the bottom states. She's gonna go way out to the Cali area, Utah somewhere, and find her a home health care position. She gonna fudge the documents, knowing most of them people gonna be countrified and ain't gonna verify everything, and she gonna live. Quit playing.
Yeah, that's even scarier.
But she can't live around these parts, because the crime she's done, everybody gonna know her business. They're gonna be talking about it. She's gonna probably feel some shame. But then again, maybe not. They might just get jiggy and just wing it.
But she might be in a jail cell.
But if somebody runs her license number, it's automatically going to be red flagged. You'll see everything that it'll show that the boards took her license and why.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So is that what it said? Does it say
nothing formal is mentioned? All it says is she's not employed by Park West. That's it.
Oh, yeah. See? So, yeah, no.
Of course, they may find her working in Bakersfield, California. You should know that.
Oh, Beverly, coming out.
Wait a minute. Oh, to Texas.
Oh, Lord, Beverly's coming out.
Everything's big in Texas. She can find her.
Humada.
She can find her a J.R. Ewing.
Over on the East Wing.
I love you. You're so damn crazy. Texas.
Ooh, Lord.
I tell you what, after what she been accused of, she might want to get with Monica. They could hit the pipe together.
Oh, she got a partner down there. She'd be living it up good.
Here's to you.
She could get in there, right in there. She fit right in there with somebody else down there.
She like playing around with needles and this and that. She might be good with a dust mop and a broom. Shut Monica, I'll clean your house. You let me stay in a spare room. Oh, well, you can sleep in the room where the dead baby was, or the dead Triscuit's not lying. I said that.
She could be another spokesperson. Oh, Beverly got a friend.
Or maybe she can get together. Since they love messing with my photographs, maybe her and Rondine get together. I hear that helpful. She don't keep nowhere to stay. That'd be two of y'all together. Both of y'all can become broke. Matter of fact, it's triplets. Monica, Rondine, and Della Marie. Shut your mouth.
Ooh.
I did go there.
That's funny.
3 misfits.
That's some funny stuff.
And counting.
You know what my brother used to say? he had a saying. He'd say, "Hoota Maggie."
Hey, maybe they get lucky and find that lady that had a boarding house in California years ago, and she took them folks' Social Security checks. And
Oh Lord, and buried him in the ground. Oh,
these little cutie pies, that's the person they're gonna eventually meet.
oh,
The little nice old lady that'll let you stay in her house for a nice little fee. You pay me a couple $100, stay in my house.
oh, buried him underneath the staircases and everything else.
I give you a room, honey, and have all your personal information. You leave out, should have went in your room and rambled through your room, got all your personal documents, you know every damn thing about you.
That was so sad. Them poor people.
Yes.
Oh, I could see this Della Marie or whatever her name is doing something like that. She's so vile.
Yeah, she's nasty. But I got a feeling she's going to stand right around and be right here in the area.
She might. But then again, you know.
She's not going anywhere because 9 times out of 10, she's like a lot of people from small town America. This is all she knows. She can't make it nowhere else. She's not going to know how to regroup anywhere else. So she's just going to be here, let her name be Mud. Eventually, people forget about her being the poop lady that's poop in the mail and blood on a sanitary napkin to somebody. People just whisper when they see her like, don't F with that bitch because she crazy.
But you know what? Also, the husband may not want to move that far away from his children too. I mean,
he 9 times out of 10. What did I just say? This is small town America.
That's
Ain't
true.
Nobody going nowhere.
That's true. That's true.
Nobody's going anywhere. That's
He
why
may not want to be associated with her no more.
Bud. And eventually, it's like any story. People will forget.
Yes.
I'm talking about her being a goofy ass bat that did that. And they'll be talking about something else in 4 or 5 months from now because that's how it is.
Yep. They'll move on to the next hot topic.
Yeah. She'll be Mud. Her name will be Mud, of course. People see her be like, that's that crazy heifer that sent that girl that stuff in the mail. But guess what? She'll still get some ding ding from somebody. If it ain't us, it'll be somebody else. Queen said it because you know I'm telling the truth.
Yeah. You are.
Know about men. Men can't never talk about crazy women. You all like psychotic women as well. Because just like Casey Anthony, all these crazy women that got off for murdering their children and doing stuff, you men will go right and go get a crazy woman knowing they killed their kids, abandoned their children, abused their children, neglected their children, and you go offer that woman a car, a house, 6,000 square feet, stainless steel appliances, knowing she ain't worth shit out poop.
Yep.
And a decent woman couldn't get your time.
True.
Couldn't get your time. And I've seen it every day. Men messing with street women. And this woman, a registered nurse, she's on that level now because she don't even have a JOB.
Mm-hmm. She did it to herself.
She did it to herself. What you got to say, Dee? Dee.
Dee must be taking.
Crystal, you still here?
Yep, I'm still here.
Anything you want to add, baby?
No, just
Honey Hush says not all places of employment runs a statewide. What do you say to that?
I said that's not true because that license follows you. You can't just give a say your license number is 123. Okay, you can't go in there and say, oh yeah, my license number is 134. You have to give it all matches up, and it can be ran because it goes through the state boards. That's why I was asking you if they take her license. Was it
all I know
board?
Not working at Park West. But
yeah, see the board. Yeah, the board.
So you got to wait till they get all the evidence and all that.
Yeah, and it's gonna be up to the boards to take her license number permanently.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, she's not gonna be able to go from state to state using that license because it's gonna be red flagged.
Because everything's gonna be with her name, which is her social security number.
Yeah.
It's your identifying factor, your your social security number. Anything
Yep.
your social security number is going to bring up anything you did, said. It's not going to matter if you live in Ottawa,
Right.
over here. It doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
the fact that you've made national news, soon as you use your government name, that story is going to come up. So it's not going to matter what you have as far as a license. The story of you being the infamous nurse is going to come up. You're going to have to change your name. And
Yeah.
damn surnames. She's going
Right.
to make up a name.
Yeah. Yep. And
That-
then
if she wa-
that number's not going to match the name.
She's going to be Della Johnson. She's going to take the 3 off.
Mm-hmm.
D.
and
Holloway.
if she wa-
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. I was on my cell phone, so my connection was
Hold on one
bad.
second. Okay, go ahead and finish, Crystal. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, that was all I said. That's all I had to say. I just hope that they go back and they look
Oh, I'm sure
at
they.
the patients that she's dealt with.
You know they're going to look at everything she ever handled, anything she ever signed off on, put her signature
Yep.
on, any
Yeah.
medication she ever rendered. They're going to do all that.
Yeah.
Because they don't
She's
want
a
to be responsible.
disgrace.
They don't want to be responsible for some shit to pop back up with her name.
Yep. Yeah. She's a disgrace. She is. That's all I got to say.
Okay, she's a disgrace. She's good.
Yeah.
Wait, Honey says it can't be ran, but many don't run statewide. Many places of employment ask what state or states you worked in and check. Yes, Honey, I will agree. That's true. Certain states will run on sometimes just the state you in. So if I live in Tennessee, they'll ask me to put whatever Tennessee, and you're right. They don't go check Maryland, California, Florida.
Right. But that number, that license number, that's what is when they run that license number, because they can't just hire anybody that say, oh yeah, I'm a nurse.
Yeah,
you have a license number? No, I don't have a license number. No, once they run that license number, anything negative against that number is going to pop up, regardless if you're here or whatever state you're in.
But see, that's not like a regular job. We're not talking about a regular Joe Blow trying to apply for a regular job. Like you said, if I don't know you worked in New York, you don't mention anything about New York. New York ain't gonna come up.
Right.
Come up, but where you work, it don't work like that.
Yep.
I can run probably your background.
Right.
And maybe something from New York, Chicago. You understand?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania will come up. But as you state, since she's a nurse, she's in a whole different database.
Yep. Yes.
She is a human having a job and a social security number.
Right. Yep. That's identifying the social security number, and that license number is identifying her.
Okay.
She's screwed.
D. Holler, what you got to say?
Good.
Where you from, baby? Nancy, you so crazy. D. Holler, where you calling from, baby? What? D. Holler? I don't know. She's not showing up. I don't know what's.
She's there, but she's not. You can't hear her.
D. Holler, I got her 2 times. D. Holler, where you at, baby? Might be the Wi-Fi. I don't know. D. Holler, are you with us, sweetheart?
She said she was on her phone, but then.
D. Holler, are you here?
Hello.
Let me put it in the chat. I don't know. I'll just take her down because I don't know. Anybody else want to join the stream to give your opinion pertaining to this nurse and her decision to stalk her husband's ex-wife? What is the reasoning? Do you condone her stalking this lady? We do not have all the details of the relationship between the three. What was going on with her as a mother, the victim? But this lady was a registered nurse. She took an oath to serve the public. She's failed the community as a nurse.
Failed miserably.
She failed miserably, indeed.
It'll be interesting to see what comes out in the court.
D. Holla. D. Holla. I keep removing her 50,000 times. I don't know what's going on. D. Holla, are you here? She's having problems. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nancy, what are you doing sitting outside? It looks.
I'm sitting outside. I hope you can't hear these babies crying across my street.
I heard the ice cream truck.
I was hoping you couldn't hear none of that. I was like, oh, Lord, keep going, keep going.
Oh, there's a microphone. What do you mean?
Yeah, I know. And then these little babies out here crying. I was like, oh, Lord.
Look,
I'm out on my porch.
I don't know. Pookie came by talking about he need to set him up. I heard all that.
Yeah, I know his ice cream truck came by. I was like, ooh, Lord, here comes the ice cream truck. Here comes, I mean, this is more traffic been down this street than I don't know how long.
Thank you all for joining me in Everyday Shenanigans. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. All super chats are welcome during the live. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all have a safe and wonderful weekend. Please hit the link before I check out of here pertaining to Della Marie, East Tennessee resident, registered nurse. I'm sure that will be up for question depending on the nursing board's decision to keep her as a medical professional in the East Tennessee area. She's been accused of stalking and harassing her husband's ex-wife, also stalking one of the children of the current husband and ex-wife's child, vandalizing the ex-wife's car, sending her dog poop in the mail, and disposed blood from a patient from the hospital onto a sanitary napkin. This is a vile creature. Tell me, what do you think about Della Marie? Should she be able to keep her job? Should she get jail time, no jail time, probation? What should happen to Della Marie? What is going to happen with her marriage to the husband? Is he also complicit? Did he know she was stalking, bothering the wife, sending these vile fluids in the mail? Weigh in. Hit the link. Thank you, Crystal.
Vile person.
Thank my mods. Amen.
Vile person.
What else, Nancy?
Vile person. This is a vile person, man. I'm just outside enjoying some sunshine. I can't do anything in the house. I got dogs and they just go nuts every time I'm on the phone.
I wouldn't want her keeping my children. I bet you that.
I wouldn't want her being my nurse. Lord have mercy.
Her mom must have liked that singer Della Reese. Yeah, that's my girl Della Reese. That was the girl right there. Had that pretty silver streak in her hair. Oh, yeah, beautiful.
Yes, she was a very pretty woman.
Yeah, Della Reese. She just had a presence about herself. She was a tall black lady, but she had a very
elegant.
Yes, she just had a presence about herself. Amen. Amen. I very elegant. These stories, it's just like what I say. I say all the time on here, Everyday Shenanigans. It just gets worse and worse. Every story. It doesn't matter what you're talking about, children, adults. These people out here, I'm telling people,
they've lost their mind.
You can't trust nobody out here. I don't trust nobody. And I let a person know, if I don't trust you, I'll tell you. It's just like I told somebody here recently. I don't know you. I don't trust you. I don't trust your friend. I don't trust your homeboy, your baby daddy, your cookie monster, whatever. I don't trust you. I don't know you. My mammy didn't give birth to you. I don't trust you. I don't know the ones my mammy gave birth to. Queen's
You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. You are not kidding.
That wound tells a lot of stories.
You're not kidding. I'm telling you, it is getting really crunk in the world today. There's some nasty things going on.
Honey Hush, hit the link if you want to give your opinion. Don't chat in the chat. Hit the link.
Come on. She done bite.
She's an RN, 53 years old, married to a doctor for 33.
You have vital information. Vital information.
Well, I mean, my thing is, hey, I let you all have the opportunity to chat in the chat, but it defeats the purpose of the live.
Right.
If you can't hit the link.
I just think it's horrible what this lady did to those poor children. That's terrible.
Well, this shows you her mindset. She's crazy.
Right.
Think by stalking their mother, you're going to send some message to them to say, let me show you who your mom is. She's this, this, and this. But see, this is what people don't understand about children. Children are either going to like or dislike their parents for whatever reason. You can't make a child change his or her mind about their own mom and daddy.
But you know what? That changes from day to day.
Yes, it does.
I mean, a child can be mad at their parent for one thing or another, and the next week, it's okay.
Yes.
So, you know, and at the end of the day, that's still your mother. That's still your father.
People don't understand about the unconditional love of a child. A child will love his mother and daddy even if they are abusing them.
Yep.
Somebody could come in and say, hey, your mom and daddy don't want you. The child could say, well, I don't want to leave. It's my mama.
That's right.
Daddy, because that's all they know. Then another child might say, yeah, I'm ready to go. Take me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. And who knows? I mean, if there's problems with their mother or whatever, later in life, something may change. They may come back and say, hey, but that's still my mama. That's still my mama. I mean, you only get one mama and one daddy in life, period. That's all you've been given.
This is true.
And so that's horrible to say something against, you know, and to do that purposely against a mother.
What's going on in this chat? Crystal's talking about honey hush. Okay, so if a nurse or doctor kills a patient in one state, they can go to work in another state without anyone knowing. Honey hush. Okay, enough now. Hit the link. I don't want no more chatting. Hit the link. This is why I don't care for the lives. I'm just going to say it. Because you all don't like to respond. You just like to talk and chat and go on and on.
Y'all don't mess this up. We missed the queen. Come on.
But they have.
I know. Y'all don't be crunking.
And give your opinion, and you just keep commenting. That's what I don't understand. You just keep commenting. Why comment when you can hit the link and let people hear what you have to say? Because once it starts going back and forth, you're bickering, bantering. Why not hit the link? People can hear what you're saying. They can understand your point of view instead of assuming what you're saying by reading a text.
You don't have to stay up here long. You can come up here, give your opinion, and then get down. It's not that hard. I like to stay up here because I like chit-chat.
Yes.
I love to chit-chat with Queen.
You my baby.
I know. I love her laughter. I love to chit-chat. It's fun. I'm Flo with coffee.
Okay, Flo with coffee.
But today I have a Sprite because it's hot. It's hot in Oklahoma.
Ooh, you're so funny. Well, I'm Big Ange with lemonade.
Well, there you go, Big Ange with lemonade.
We ain't had the coffee this morning because we bypassed the coffee. So
I had coffee this morning too. Right now, early in the morning. I caught your replay.
Lemonade and some Fanta pina colada soda pop.
Yeah. I caught your replay early this morning.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes. For those of you who been looking for the queen, I have an earlier live I made early this morning in the wee hours to the condo that collapsed.
That is so sad.
Surfside, Florida, right near the Miami-Dade area.
Yes.
Okay, Dee Dee, that's okay. That's fine. Well, I'm not going to hold any longer, but I thank you all for joining me. This said information pertaining to this nurse. I'm almost at 2 hours. And Nancy, I thank you for coming up on the stream and joining me.
You know I will. Anytime I catch you, I will.
Thank you all for joining me. I'm so glad you all, the three or so that come up on the link, Miss Dee Dee, Nancy, and Crystal.
I will get down though now so you can give your ending comments. Much love to you, Queen. I love seeing you. You have a wonderful weekend. I will try to catch you if you go live again, especially about the condo info.
Yeah, I'm bringing you all
my
up
prayers
to what's going on with Florida.
Yes, my prayers are with those people and those first responders and those people that are working on that.
Say that too. Yes.
Much love. Love to everybody in the chat. Love everybody. I'm going back down. Bye.
Yay, that was Nancy. That's Nancy from Oklahoma. Prayers to Surfside, Florida. Those who are displaced from that condo. Those who have not been discovered in the rubbish. The young man who was brought out by first responders, that same young man has lost his mother in the debris. Prayers to him to have lost his mother. Prayers to the community, those living in the building, visiting the building, vacationing at the building. As I stated, there are a lot of foreign nationals who patronize the building. They rent there, they own property there, praying for information to come forward that they are safe, because this place housed over 130 units at this condo building. This is a 40-year-old condo building in Surfside, Florida, in the Miami-Dade metro area, outside area, which is whatever. And so I want you all to pray for these people, because they're going to need our love, our compassion. We're also going to be, at this point, very leery of any condo building in general, because what you have to tell yourself is, why this building? Why did this building collapse? What was it about this building that made it crumble to the ground? Is it because it was built on wetlands? Did the owner know that he built this property on wetlands? Why would you build a building on wetlands? Everyone knows you don't build any surface structure on wetlands. Okay, Dee. You don't do it. And I know that greed is the reason why we have the problems that we have in our country. I'll do it anyway. I'm somebody. I got the best at this. Well, you didn't have the best. Because now there are people lying in the rubble, waiting for someone to dig them out. And every second a person is not pulled out, that's a second off of his or her life to be up under concrete and iron, such as with 9/11. Naturally, that building was greater, bigger, taller, but the destruction is still the same. It is a building that came down. So prayers for Surfside, Florida. The people who were injured, the 4 allegedly that are deceased, the lady who had to have her leg amputated because they had problems pulling her out of the debris. I'm praying for you, Miss Lady. I'm praying for the young boy pulled out of the rubble who now his mother has been identified as one of the decedents in the rubble. Praying for those who have survived and made it out. You're transitioning in life to get help and aid. Your leeriness now of living in a skybox. I'm sure you're very fearful now of living in a skybox now. And I get that. And I pray for anyone who lives in a high-rise building in any parts of the world or country. Because we now have to ask ourselves, why did this 12-story building come down to the ground? Has it been receding into the ground 2 millimeters every few years, every year, as this one physician, not physician, but a professor at a local university said, 2 millimeters a year sinking. He did a study. He put this study out to the public last year. And now a year later, that same building that he had done a study on is now down to rubble. So obviously he knew his information. He knows his craft. Amen. And sadly, I got a feeling whoever owns the building probably got wind of this professor's documentation and didn't take heed and didn't go over that information and didn't care and didn't go to the codes to say, this is what a professor found about my structure. I need you all to come out and look at it. And the fact that every 40 years you're going to go look at a building, that's not good enough. 40 years is a long time to wait to study and examine a building. Most of us don't even live to be 40 years old. So how in the world can you wait 40 years to check a structure? I brought you R. Kelly this evening. He is now in the custody of the state of New York, city of New York. He is in Brooklyn, New York, in a holding facility awaiting trial that will start in August. I also brought you information pertaining to Fort Hood. The military officials have deemed several businesses in the General Killeen area as places that they do not want their said military soldiers to patronize. If you need verification for that story, it is at the beginning of this live. So these are the updates I've brought to you. R. Kelly is now in Brooklyn in a holding facility awaiting trial in August. Killeen officials have deemed certain night establishments, bars, as unfit for their military soldiers to patronize. I also brought you information about a little black girl who died from poisoning from cereal at a birthday or a party sleepover, however it goes. They will not release the information pertaining to the person whose house it was and his relation to the little girl. I don't know if it's family, father, whomever. When I get that information, I'll bring it to you. Prayers for Florida. Condo falling down, Surfside, Florida. That is also in the said live. If you need verification for any information, it is at the beginning of this live. And the story headliner is of an East Tennessee nurse no longer working for Park West Medical Center, sending vile material, blood and fecal matter in the mail to her husband's ex-wife because she felt like she is a poor example of a mother, wanted to show the children how disgusting the mother is, in her opinion. A very vile person, Della Marie. There's nothing wrong with not liking a person. You don't care for who they are, who they're representing themselves to be, but to send them vile, soiled, what is the word? Fluids in the mail is disrespectful. It's very disrespectful. And I'm praying that she gets jail time, prison time for her crime. Will you come to store the parents that put drugs in the baby bottle? I don't know, Crystal. You have to talk to me about that. We'll talk about that when I come off the live because I don't know about that, baby. So let's pray for each other. I don't know if you believe in God or not, those listening to my live, but I do. And I know he is a good God. He's a favorable God. And he allows everything to happen to us and the world for a reason. And although we may not agree with why the world is cruel, why man and woman is so cruel to one another, children, but it is what it is. So you have to pray for yourself, you see. You have to pray for your own salvation because you don't have any control over other people. You have to pray that when you walk out your house today, that no one will harm you. You won't be in a car wreck, a mugging, carjacking. Your spouse, loved one won't try to hurt you, harm you, poison you, mistreat you. Pray no one will harm your children. But know that the propensity for violence is there. So you need to stay woke. You need to know that you cannot trust everyone. That you have to, as we would say in the street, feed them with a long-handled spoon. Everybody is not your friend, not your loved one. And relation does not mean we are cool. It is what it is. Have a safe weekend. You see something, say something. Don't feel like you have to abide by the snitch code. The snitch code is for people in the street. If you do not live by the street, then you have nothing to worry about or fear. God is the ruler and the creator, and he runs everything. The street code is overrated because the same people who cry and moan about the snitch code, street code, are the same ones who violate the street code. They are the grand manipulators and grand orchestrators of the violence that you see in the street. So he or she would be the one to moan and groan and rock the street code because in the end, they're the ones who don't have any empathy and don't give a damn about you or myself because they don't care about themselves. Thank you for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129, Cash App, and all super chats are welcome during a live stream. God bless all of you. Have a safe weekend. I will be back with more breaking news and hot topics. Thank my mods who joined the live this evening. Thank you, Nancy, Dee Dee, Miss Crystal for hitting the link. D Holla, sorry we missed you. You all stay safe out there. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Talk to you guys later.